Alright, we're back with another Apex Legends video, and with the launch of Season 18, there were a decent amount of changes to some of the legends, and an entire legend, which was Revenant, got reborn and entirely reworked, so it's a good time to actually update the Legends tier list. So, we're gonna hop right into this. If you guys like these types of videos, leave a like, subscribe, share the video, really appreciate it. Keep in mind, this is going to be mainly like a legend tier list based off of like your average player. This is not going to be like a pro player tier list or like a diamond and above tier list. This is going to be from like your lower tiers all the way up into your middle tiers, or just for your like your casual type of play, that type of tier list for these legends. So if you do not agree with me on anything, or if I forget to mention something as well, let me know in the comments down below. I'm not going to make this video very long because, to be honest with you guys, a lot of these didn't really change that much. But we're going to start it out. I'll actually throw up C and B tier on screen for you guys right now because there is no D or F tier right now. I don't think there's any legends in the entire game that are that bad right now, so that's also a good thing. C tier, you got Mirage and Rampart, and B tier, you got Crypto and Newcastle. Just nothing with these really changed. Like, I'm not really going to talk about them very much just because the main reason why these are in these tiers are mainly because they either aren't played nearly enough, or there's just better stuff to play that does their job way better. Nothing's really changed since last season. Up next, we got A tier. We have Ashe, Octane, Fuse, Gibraltar, Lifeline, Vantage, and Watson. I'm not going to talk about like every one of these individually because a lot of these, like I said, didn't really change since last season. I think the only major ones that have kind of changed are Gibraltar, because Gibraltar was a lot worse last season. The main reason why he's a little bit higher on this list is because he got a 90-second cooldown reduction on his ult. So he has his ult a lot more, and I've been seeing it a lot more frequently. It's a really good AoE ult too. Allows people to get out of cover and make your team like get the ability to like make plays off his ult and that type of thing. Kind of a disruption type ult. Apart from that, nothing in this tier has really changed. I think Vantage is still really underrated, not being played nearly enough. Needs a small little buff I would give her. I think I would actually get rid of the laser sight on her ult. I think that would be a really solid like little quality of life buff to give her. I think she'd be a lot better then. And then make her ult charge a little bit faster, because I feel like it charges like each individual shot with her sniper rifle kind of. It takes a while to charge, especially early game, and it kind of falls off late game, especially if you're not able to land like more than one shot on people. So apart from that, not really too much in this tier. Next tier, we got A+ tier. We got Ballistic, Caustic, Catalyst, Loba, Mad Maggie, and Valkyrie. These are all legends that are just really, really consistent, and you can pick them pretty much every single game and do really good, no matter what the maps are. The current maps that are in rotation for casuals and ranked right now are Broken Moon, Olympus, and I think King's Canyon. I think they're all the ones that are in rotation, so all these legends, they all work on all those maps. I think the major one here that kind of got changed, Loba got a 5-second cooldown reduction on her tactical, but it's not really enough to really matter. Didn't really do that much. It's a good quality of life change, but apart from that, it didn't really matter. Same with Catalyst, she got her ult nerfed, I think, by 30 seconds. So she has a little bit longer of an ult or something. I think it went from 120 up to 140 seconds or something. So still, you don't really notice that much. I've played a bunch of Catalysts so far up until recording this, and she's still really, really good, pretty much the same. Not going to really talk about any of the other stuff here, because a lot of it hasn't really changed. And Ballistic also did get nerfed, but he's just still really, really good. He has a tactical that can pretty much shut people down. Like, his tactical's still really good, and his team fight ult with his just being able to give you like movement speed and unlimited ammo and reload speed is crazy, still really good, even with the nerfs. And then last but not least, we got S tier. These are all the legends that need some type of nerf, so I'm probably going to go through most of these legends and kind of talk about what they really need to be nerfed. First off, we actually got Revenant, which is actually S tier. I'll talk about him probably last. Bangalore, Bloodhound, Wraith, Horizon, Pathfinder, Seer, and then like I said, we have Revenant. Bangalore got her ult nerfed, But like I think the main thing she has is she just has too much utility. The main things that make Bangalore really good is her tactical, which is double time, and then her smoke grenades. I think she needs like an increased cooldown on her smokes, or like she needs her tactical nerfed in some way, or like her passive nerfed in some way. Her alt nerf didn't really do anything. Like they increased her alt, I think, by a minute or something. I don't know. It's not nearly enough to really matter. And even like then, like her ult was just kind of there for disruption or to kind of buy your team time to heal up or like move away from an area. It was never really used offensively very much. It was just kind of a defensive thing you kind of had that was always there. Bloodhound is just still brain dead. I don't know what they would actually do to nerf Bloodhound. I really don't. He just gets his scans way too fast. I think that's the main thing. I would just nerf his scans again in some way. I'm not sure how they would go about that, though. Then you have Horizon. Horizon's still probably, like, one of the best legends, if not the best legend in the entire game, I think, apart from, like, Wraith right now, and you arguably maybe Revenant. And there's also a bug with Horizon right now that sometimes that you'll be going against an enemy Horizon, and her tactical, her gravity lift, and her ult will have no sound, which is actually a bug right now that they're trying to fix. And at least when I'm recording this, still has not been fixed. So half the time you're going against a Horizon and you won't even be able to hear them. You'll hear them moving, but when they throw down their abilities and their ult, they have no sound, so they don't have visuals, which is really, really annoying. Hopefully that gets fixed, and that's also another reason why everybody's playing it right now. They're abusing a bug. So apart from that, she's incredibly good. I think the main thing I would actually do with Horizon, I would completely rework her passive. I feel like her passive is just busted in this type of game. It allows you to move way too freely, and it gives you such an advantage over pretty much anybody. Not being able to have to take like any like fall stagger or that type of thing with her passive. Then you got Wraith. Wraith got buffed this patch. They buffed her ult, I think, by like, they gave her like a minus 30 seconds on her ult, so it charges even faster now. Crazy. I don't know why they buffed Wraith. Like, she's still, if I were to say like one of the best legends in the game, I'd probably either say Horizon or Wraith right now. I think it's probably the two best legends in the entire game. At least for like your casual players and like your middle tiers of play. I really do. She's just crazy. Pretty much, she's so difficult to lock down. She has crazy mobility. She's really slippery. She can get her team in and out of fights. That type of thing. Like, she pretty much does whatever you want. Like, however you want to play her, she can play whatever you want. So, got Pathfinder. They nerfed his ult a little bit. I think they increased the cooldown on his ult. Still really, really good. Crazy mobility, and still with the frequency that you can actually get. The zip line, just by looking at care packages, just makes them really, really good. Especially with King's Canyon being back in rotation, Pathfinder on that map has always been one of its best maps. Just being able to like throw out zip lines all the way across some like the really open areas and being able to move to safety really fast. It's always been one of his really good maps. Seer got some hefty nerfs to his tactical and he's still broken. I don't even know what they would do to nerf Seer at this point. He's still busted. I think it's at the point where I think he needs to be reworked. I really do. I would rework his ult and his entire tactical, and maybe even his passive. I would fully rework him. If there's a legend in the game right now that needs to be reworked after Revenant, my pick is Seer. I think Seer needs a full rework, and he's the next one that needs to be like quote-unquote reborn. I really do. They've tried to balance him so much already. They did like a minor rework to his tactical this past season, and it didn't do anything. If anything, it made him better. They tried to nerf it again for this season and it didn't do anything to him. He's still just as good. I think it's at the point where he needs to be entirely reworked. And then you got Revenant Reborn. Revenant got fully reworked. I think this is probably the biggest change on like any tier list. Revenant went from being like one of the bottom of the barrel type characters that you really don't see played very much to being probably one of the best characters in the entire game. He also got changed from an assault to a skirmisher class, which doesn't really do much for him, but it's a change just mainly because he got mobility added to his kit. I think the main problem with Revenant is like his kit is just way too bloated. It is way too bloated. They're gonna have to nerf his ult. I think his ult has 75 health right now. I think that's gonna need to be nerfed down to like 50 because it's really, really annoying. Same with his jump. They're gonna have to either increase the cooldown on his jump or his pounce or whatever it is, or they're gonna have to like decrease the vertical and horizontal distance that it goes because it goes way too far. I think out of all the movement abilities in the game that are like similar, I think he has the one that like is the fastest and jumps the farthest. Like his tactical is legit Octane's ult. It is a jump pad that moves faster and even goes higher in the air and goes farther than like Octane's jump pad, which is an entire ult. Like that's how good it is right now, and there should not be a tactical in the game that is better than like somebody's ult that is pretty much a similar thing. That needs to be changed as well. I think the only thing that's on him that's actually balanced is his passive of being able to see like low health targets. I think that's fair for what it is, but I do think his kit's really, really bloated. I really do. I think he's going to need to be having some minor nerfs to his tactical and to his ult. I think they're really incredibly good. And especially with maps like King's Canyon in rotation right now as well, and like Olympus, he's going to be on really good on both of those maps. And the same with like Broken Moon. Like it depends where you play him on Broken Moon, but like that's also a really third-party heavy map. He like Revenant. The problem with Revenant right now, he's just like probably the king of third parties. He is one of the best legends right now that's just able to take third parties. You pop an ult and you just run at people and down everybody. And if you get dove or if you want to close the distance, like you have like one of the best movement abilities in the entire game to close distance and either get away from somebody or get right on top of someone. I don't know what to tell you guys. Let me know what you guys think of the new Revenant rework in the comments down below, but I think he's way too bloated and he's way too good. He's going to need some pretty hefty changes, hopefully going forward in the next couple weeks. So, apart from that, that is the entire tier list. Normally I sit here for like 30 minutes breaking down an entire tier list, but apart from that, there's not really much that really changed here, so I didn't want to explain everything in depth. If you guys want to check out my last tier list for this past season, I'll link that at the end of the video. It should be on screen relatively shortly or even right now. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. I also will have a weapons tier list on the way within the next few days, talking about some of the weapons and then maybe some other stuff as well. So, apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video.